Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And you may have noticed, American Gods, our previous reactions to it have been blocked by pretty much one of the production companies within Stars that's doing American Gods. So if you're looking for episode 1 reactions, episode 2 reactions, those are blocked because they manually blocked the video. Probably it's just reacting. We got footage, so they probably didn't like that. So for this one, we're gonna be doing, we're just gonna be reviewing episode 3 and 4, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Just the ending for episode 4, just her waiting for Shadow, Laura waiting for Shadow, and he's like a glowing light, and she's a corpse.
Yeah,
that is nuts.
Yeah, and like this show is getting so good, and I wish we could show you guys our reactions, because it's a good show, and it's definitely one of those shows. Like, I feel that, we even with the first two, we enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it enough like to continue doing reactions for it. Some shows like we watch and it's like we enjoy it, but it's not enough to like give us that reaction that we needed. We know like other people would like to watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Narcos was. You can't watch that. I mean, we can't react to it and we'll have you guys watch it because it's just not the same.
Yeah.
But this show has got it, and it's unfortunately they don't want us to share it with the world.
I know there's a lot of stuff in the show just is nuts just for us. Just seeing like in episode 3, there's a part where you get to see some new gods or new fantastical characters like the Djinn, and the Djinn is having sex with another dude, and somehow is transferring of the image, or he's transferring his soul from one body to another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was crazy. Like, because I think that's very highly controversial because of the nature of that. I guess we should say religion, faith. I mean,
maybe the religion, like for us, like when you see the genie, it's like, oh yeah, cool, Aladdin.
Yeah.
And so others might think of it as like their heritage or something like that, and they expect the jinn to be a certain way, and if it's deviating, they might be like, hey, hey.
Yeah, I remember we were just watching it, and we're just like,
so, wow. The eyes are like on fire. It's like, just look at me.
And it's so interesting, the show, like they continue to introduce new gods, but then they don't elaborate on them yet. Like they just kind of like introduce them, and then eventually we're gonna see that guy.
Yeah, hopefully. So now the ones that for episode 4 we're introduced to Anubis, and we actually finally get to see like a god just having a recurring role, and like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, Anubis. He shows up later, and he's helping fixing up Laura and her corpse. Wow, that is just crazy. She's back from the dead, and she sees her friend, and her friend freaks out. Like, I would act the same way. I mean, holy shit! Oh my god! Like, get away from me! I'd be freaked out.
Would you try to kill her because you think she was a zombie because of everything from video games?
Like, if it's a zombie that's coming out, like, I'm gonna try to run away. I'm not gonna try to sacrifice my life and try to risk getting scratched or anything, or I don't want to be near something like that. You want to get away. You want to lock yourself out.
Right.
Like our experiences with horror, like in real life, like if we did an escape room recently, it was scary, and we were just holding on to each other. That's how scared we were. So that's probably what I would be like in real life. I wouldn't try to fight it because I'm like, screw that.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna lose against a zombie. This is too much that I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really interesting. I think third episode, you learn, I guess Shadow starts to believe more, and you really don't get a lot. It's just more about him just finally just accepting that there's this new world and there's all these different possibilities. And the fourth episode, I think, is way more important because it shows what happened between him and Laura in their relationship,
Yeah, and whose dick was in Laura's mouth? Dane Cook.
Yeah, I want to find out. I'm gonna tweet Dane Cook. Is that your dick?
Yeah.
Did they frame your dick and put it in that picture?
Yeah, it was right there. It was just like in the open. But Dane Cook, he's back. You know, like he was like the rising comedian, and he was doing movies like Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, and somehow he just dropped off the radar, and now he's kind of back. So maybe just like a slow momentum. We'll see. You know, for you Dane Cook fans that are hoping that he's coming back, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so interesting. Like, it kind of like took us out of the show for a second. We're like, is that Dane Cook?
Yeah, it really took me out. I was like, hey, is this Dane Cook?
He's in this show?
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole premise of Laura and Shadow's relationship, like, you could already see, like, from the get-go, it wasn't going to go well. Like, it was destined to fail. And then, like, the longer it went on, the more, like, the signs were there, and it was just kind of like, Shadow was just there. She was just, like, you know, needed a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was in that shitty job, and
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was pretty real. Like, it just seems like everything just kind of made sense, and eventually it just fell apart, you know.
And I just love that Laura, her arm just fell off, like after fighting the goons, Technical Boys goons.
Yeah.
And she's just falling apart, and she's trying to sew it back together. Like, that just reminds me, like, as a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas, Sally.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah. So I mean, she's basically, you know, zombie, and even like it's so funny. Like, Anubis comes back and like finds her. And he basically says that, you know, once she's done, which I don't understand what that means. So she's got to do something, and once she's done, he will basically put her in the darkness.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't believe anything, and since she's already dead, since she died not believing anything, she goes to darkness.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. Let us know what you thought of episode 3 and 4 on the comments below. With that said, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
We'll see you guys next time.